speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, so we just had a look at my 6 buildings for my Cities of Death terrain, and I'm going to move on to this next stage, which I suppose I can only describe as padding out your terrain. So yeah, my 6 buildings, if I'm playing on a 4x4 board, the board is absolutely packed, which is perfect for city fights. If I move up to a 6x4 board, then to be fair I could probably do with a couple more buildings. But, well, I don't have the space, the time, the money to do that. So I came up with a different idea, and also, you know, again, imagination-wise, I mean, if you've got all these buildings which are going to be all over the table, and that half of them are damaged, or they're all damaged and ruined, then surely you're going to have some totally flat buildings, you know, buildings that have just been totally destroyed. And I used that concept to come up with these 2 pieces. So they're pretty basic, as you can see, but effectively all I did was use the rubble, just like at the bottom of my buildings, to make up some patches of total destroyed buildings, really. So that one's got a tyranny done. Look, how about that? Yeah, I mean it is quite basic, but it does fill out those blank out areas quite nicely. I went for this nice flat design so that the models can walk on it quite easily. I still have bits on there from the kit, a little signpost there as well, and little bits and pieces, and it works really well. Rough terrain, you know, pads out the buildings, and it works. Now, when Cities of Death came out in 4th edition, we were using heights. You had height 1, 2 and 3. So I came up with a little, what I think is quite an ingenious design, but it's sort of irrelevant now with the current rules. But what I did is I made a little hole with these discs in, so I could change the height of this piece of terrain. So with that on, it would be height 1, and then I've got this section, put that on, and that terrain is then height 2. And then I've got this big one, which I put on, and now that terrain is height 3. And I have exactly the same with this one. That comes out, and then I have the 3 different sizes. Now, obviously that's not really going to work in the current edition, but even so, I think it still can work, because it can still look like, you know, that was a building, and there's just like a tiny bit of building left. That's all. No, it still works, I think. So I still use these little bits and pieces. And it just brings something extra. I mean, even to the point that I could just put this down if I wanted to on the board, and these could just make little pieces of rubble, you know, if I really wanted to. So yeah, again, it's just a little bit of imagination. These 2 pieces of terrain really do fill the board, and they're incredibly easy and cheap to make. So yeah, imagination, I suppose, is the key point here. Okay, so next we're going to have a look at the moonscapes from Citadel.